Meet Emily, a 35-year-old woman who lived in a small town with her husband David. Emily and David had been married for 10 years and had always wanted to start a family. However, despite their efforts, they struggled to conceive for many years. They visited several doctors, tried different treatments, and even underwent fertility treatments, but to no avail. Emily and David were devastated by their inability to have children, and their marriage began to suffer as a result. Despite their struggles, Emily and David never lost hope. They continued to pray for a miracle and never gave up on their dream of starting a family. One day, after several years of trying, Emily found out that she was finally pregnant. The news was a dream come true for both of them, and they were overjoyed to be starting a family. Emily's pregnancy was not without its challenges, however. She was considered high risk due to her age, and she was under the constant care of a team of doctors. Despite this, she remained positive and optimistic, determined to bring her baby into the world safely and healthily. As her due date approached, Emily and David went to the hospital for her labor and delivery. They were nervous but excited, ready to meet their long-awaited daughter. What they could not expect, however, was the shock they would receive when their daughter was born. Emily's labor was a long and difficult one, lasting over 4 hours. When her daughter was finally born, the doctors were shocked to find that she was born without eyes. Emily and David were stunned, unable to comprehend what they were seeing. They were filled with a mix of emotions: fear, confusion, sadness, and anger. Emily and David were taken to a private room, where they were told that their daughter had a rare genetic condition that caused her to be born without eyes. The doctors explained that this was a congenital condition and that it was not something that could be fixed. Emily and David were heartbroken, unable to imagine what life would be like for their daughter without the ability to see. Despite the shock and heartache they were experiencing, Emily and David were determined to be strong for their daughter. They named her Grace and promised to love and care for her no matter what. The next few days were a blur for Emily and David as they learned to navigate this new world. They were given information on the resources available to them, including support groups and rehabilitation centers, and they were put in touch with other families who had children with similar conditions. Emily and David were also visited by several doctors who explained that Grace would need special care and attention. They would need to make many adaptations to their home and daily routines to ensure that Grace was safe and comfortable. Emily and David were overwhelmed by the information and the changes that would need to be made, but they were determined to do whatever it took to give their daughter the best life possible. In the weeks and months that followed, Emily and David learned a great deal about their daughter and the condition she had. They found that there was a community of people who were supportive and understanding, and they were grateful for the many resources that were available to them. They also learned that Grace was a strong and resilient baby who was making progress every day. Emily and David were filled with pride and love as they watched their daughter grow and develop. They were grateful for every moment they had with her, and they were determined to make the most of their time together. As time passed, Emily and David became more comfortable with the reality of their daughter's condition. They found that they were able to adjust to their new life and that they were becoming more confident in their ability to care for Grace. They learned about the latest technologies and techniques for helping people with vision loss, and they were amazed by the advancements that had been made in recent years. Emily and David also found that they had an endless amount of support from the medical community. The doctors and nurses who had cared for Grace were always available to answer their questions and provide guidance. They were amazed by the care and compassion they received, and they were grateful for the support they received from their friends and family. Emily and David also found that they had a strong network of other families who were in similar situations. They were able to connect with these families and share their experiences and struggles, and they found comfort in knowing that they were not alone. They were also inspired by the strength and resilience of the children they met, and they were filled with hope for their daughter's future. As Grace grew, Emily and David saw how resilient and determined she was. They watched as she learned to navigate the world in her own unique way, using her other senses to compensate for her vision loss. They were amazed by her courage and her spirit, and they were filled with pride and love for their daughter. Emily and David's journey was not an easy one, but they found that they were able to overcome the challenges they faced. They learned to accept their daughter's condition and to appreciate her for who she was. and they found that they were able to provide her with the love and support she needed. They also found that they had a strong network of support, including friends, family, and the medical community, and they were grateful for all of the resources and support that were available to them. Emily and David's story is a testament to the resilience and strength of the human spirit. Despite the challenges they faced, they remained positive and optimistic, and they were able to find joy and happiness in their new life. They were inspired by their daughter's courage and determination, and they were filled with pride and love for the daughter who had changed their lives forever.